All right, BobinEnduro. And guess what, people? It's new bike day. And this coming from Beaver Creek Cycle in Lisbon, Ohio. Special thanks to Rodney down there for hooking me up with an incredible deal on this 2025 Husqvarna TE 300 Pro. So this is the latest offering from Husqvarna. I have about not even 0.3 hours on it yet. Don't even have a full hour. So we're just out here and we're breaking it in. But I got to tell you, so far, the bike is for real. This is definitely one of the more premium offerings from Husqvarna. Break-in procedure on this, it actually says to go 70% for the first 3 hours, and then less than 100% for the 5 hours. And then, of course, change our oil, our transmission oil. The one thing that you've heard, if you've looked at anything about Husqvarna TEs, the number one thing is this tank and where the fuel pickup is. We'll see how that goes. I know there's some options out there to solve that, but given my age and I get tired after 2 hours anyway, I'm not sure how big of a deal it'll be for me personally. You have Brembo brakes, and you'll see it came with carbon fiber rotor guards. It also came with the HID light, so that is a lot better than what was on my 501. Absolutely brighter. You get this custom Pro Taper handlebar guard. And I have ordered Sicra bark busters, but today, because I'm breaking the bike in, I'm not gonna, hopefully I won't drop it today, but yeah, we'll see. So it does come with the flags from the factory, but I am going with the Sicra bark busters on this. Thing I thought was the rear brake lever was kind of small, but honestly, now that I'm using it, it's perfectly fine. I love that they have this wire here so that if you catch a tree or something, it won't pull your brake lever the whole way off and back. I think that's a nice little touch. I am running the Motorex oil in this. The air filter, everything is toolless, so if I need to change the idle, which I may need to change, it feels a little low, but I figured let's get at least a couple hours before I do anything. Clickers, the actual idle, we'll see how things go this morning. It's got this nice cover on the seat, definitely grippy, which I like. You have, it does come with a light kit on it, and one of the big changes for 2025 is you no longer have the switch over here for the lights. It's actually a switch right beside the speedo, so I can push that, turn the lights on or off. Couple of quick specs. It's got the Takasago rims on it. The spokes are actually kind of a grayish, which is a nice touch. It comes with the Dunlop Geomax tires on it. So far, I think I need to let a little air out. They feel a little, kind of feel like they filled them for the road. So we're going to take a look at that. On the dash, very simplistic, same as most of your KTMs. I went in, set the clock. I actually changed it to miles per hour from kilometers per hour. And there's also some lap timers in that, which I thought was pretty cool. Of course, because this is a Husqvarna, it comes with the map switch included. And green, go fast. White is more of a low-end, torquey, smoother power. So right now, I'm just, as I'm breaking it in, I'm just in the green map right now. Going to kind of play with that to see how things go. A big point of contention on this bike has been this little device, the starter and the kill switch. I know that a lot of guys have ordered the two separate ones, and I think it's a matter of what they're used to. So far, a big complaint was this button's really hard to push to turn it off or to turn it on. I'm not seeing it right now, but again, this is only literally my first hour on the motorcycle. Again, these ODI grips are really nice. They're soft. They have a good feel to them. I would say, you know, first impressions of this bike, the coolest thing right now are there's no vibration. Compared to my 501, I'm like, where's the vibes? So this thing is really balanced. It's definitely impressing me as far as that. You know, one complaint about this was a lot of people were like, you know, you're buying such a premium bike, they couldn't put an FMF on it. This is just a typical Husqvarna aluminum can. The one good thing about the aluminum, it does have a new swing arm that's cast from a solid piece of aluminum. And it saves like grams, which to me, being a big guy, you know, I could have one less hamburger and that would make the difference. But there is weight savings all throughout the bike. I put this on the BobinEnduro scales, full tank of gas all the way to the top, full, filled with the premix oil. And I put it on, and this bike weighed 252 pounds, completely filled with gas. So, you know, 6 pounds per gallon of gasoline. It takes a little over 2 gallons, so that's 12 pounds. But I got to give Husky credit. What they said on their website, the weight was almost on to the pound. So the bike's, it's definitely lighter. And I think what I like about it so far compared to my big 501 is that the bike's a little more narrow. And it also, because of that suspension currently right now, I also feel like I'm a little closer to the ground. So if you need to do a dab, I don't feel like I'm reaching as much as I do on my Husqvarna. Now, that could just be in my mind, but that's one of the feels. The other thing that this came with was an updated chain guard. I know that some guys had to replace those on last year's model. Comes with the Super sprocket. And it also, like I said, it has the carbon fiber up front, but it's got like a decent rotor guard to it. This isn't just some piece of plastic. That's like your kind of like your Bulletproof Designs or Enduro Engineering, but that is solid, as well as a solid caliper, which I understand in hard enduro can offer some advantages. Things that, you know, I haven't ridden it enough to say what I like and don't like. I'm just figuring it out. But, you know, as far as power, just in the little bit of time that I've ridden this bike, okay, power's not going to be an issue for me at this point. However, from all the videos that I watched about the KTM 300 from 2024, you know, some of your better riders, your B/A level riders, are saying the mid-range on this doesn't have quite the hit. And there is, through Slavin's Racing, there is a module called TSP that you can actually get an ERM on this. And basically what it is it's a way to flash your personal ECU with their maps. And what I understand is that really, really opens the bike up. For me, don't need it yet. I just, you know, trying to keep it under 70% and doing my thing. I'm like, nah, maybe down the road we'll look at something like that. The Super Sprox is aluminum. Not sure. I know on my 501 I didn't get much life out of the stock, so I went with Dirt Tricks. I went with the DID chain, 2 Dirt Trick sprockets, and that was money well spent. So between the upgrade to the ECU, maybe some Dirt Trick sprockets, you know, some bark busters. The cool thing is, it's not like my 501 where I put so much money into that, that, you know, you're spending money on a bike and then you're putting money and money into it. I don't think I'm going to have to do that with this one for the way that I ride. And my riding is typically single track, woods riding. That's what I wanted this beast for. And my hope is to take it out to Colorado next year. So that was one of the main reasons I got this bike. One of the other things I really liked, you know, when I talk about things that came on the bike already that I didn't have to buy, on my 501, I bought an AXP skid plate. So on this one, no need. It already comes with the skid plate, and it has a pretty beefy linkage protector too. So I think that's one less thing that I have to worry about. We'll see how that wears, and I really don't see too many problems with that. One note is when you look at the logo, it's actually etched into the plastics. So, you know, I know a lot of guys do this. What I'm going to do is I am going to get a plastics kit, going to kind of customize it for my channel, BobinEnduro, and I'll save these for down the road. If I ever decide to sell the bike, I'll have the original plastics in perfect shape. I sprayed all these things with SC1 to try to protect them today, and my goal is not to fall today. But I'll tell you, when you turn this throttle, you know, the first thing I noticed on the bike, and Rodney from Beaver Creek was very clear. He said, look, this is a two-stroke. You have to warm it up. So when I first turned it on, it seemed like it was loading up, but it cleared out very quickly. I do think the idle's a touch low, but again, because this is the first ride on it, we'll see how that goes. You know, a lot's been made about the oil injection, and I added the premix to it. He already told me they filled it up for me, or it was like halfway full, so I topped it off. But from what I understand, you're going to be able to get 4 to 5 tanks of fuel out of a load of premix. It really didn't take much when I put it in. You also have this big red button right there that when that goes on, you can finish out the tank, but you need to get premix. I'm actually running 91 ethanol free in this particular bikes, as I do most of my bikes. I've never had an issue with it, and I love the fact that there's no ethanol in the fuel to clog things up. So, you know, so many more things to do on this bike. I'm really excited to use this bike in the woods, and you may have seen we're also dabbling in motocross a little bit. And I think once I get the suspension dialed on this just might be, you know, can you teach an old dog new tricks? It's been since I was probably 13 years old that I actually raced motocross, and I haven't done it since. And I'm actually working with a pro at a local track, and he's giving me some pointers. But let me tell you this, if you go to the gym and want to work out, I recommend buying a motorcycle, standing up on your entire lap, but don't sit down, and do about 8 laps like that. And I quickly remembered why motocross is one of the most physically demanding sports. So for me, my workout is, the track is only 10 minutes from my house. Go ride around the track, not sitting down, using good form, good posture, you know, squeezing the bike, keeping that butt out, staying leaned over, and just do that constantly. My legs are still sore from my Thursday class that I had. So a little bit of motocross, a little bit of woods, a little bit of single track, and BobinEnduro is pumped. Welcome to the family. 2025 Husqvarna TE 300 Pro model. So let's go out and ride a little bit. I'm out at a location that very small, but it's a great place just to kind of break in a bike. So I'm gonna go. And that's what you call a loop. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. All right. How embarrassed am I? That's embarrassing. It's nothing. I've done that a million times. And I don't know what I did. I basically whiskey throttled it. I've never done that in my life. And so, with not even an hour on the bike, I looped it so good, I had to clean out the pipe. It was stuffed with dirt. I checked that first. And then my subframe, yeah, looks like I get to get the underpiece on there, but you can kind of see where it bent it back. I guess it is a good thing that this has the partial aluminum subframe and not just the carbon fiber where it just would have cut off. But man, brand new bike, not even an hour, and BobinEnduro. So unsatisfying. I'm glad I brought my Husqvarna tools. Really nice toolkit. So I'm going to put this back together. And it looks like I'll be seeing Rodney at Beaver Creek Cycle. There's a subframe under this, just two pieces of plastic, and both of them cracked. And I mean, that was a full 100% loop that I just performed on my brand new bike. And that's what you get. You get a little excited. You're like, you know, this bike feels good. I'm gonna rip a little bit. I can do a little log jump. And I mean, that is embarrassing. You know, if I was jumping that log, then I could see it. But that's just I am 1000% embarrassed. But hey, you got to show the good with the bad. A little bummed that cracked underneath, but again, I mean, I was full-blown vertical, and that's what it landed on. I'm surprised there wasn't more damage, quite honestly, and it's not going to stop my ride today, but just a little disappointed. So I'm going to get this back together. And RJ, what did you learn about this experience? It's a learning experience. I don't know. Do I put this on YouTube? I think I have to. Got to take the good with the bad. I'll get crucified in the comments, but oh well.